good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from any part of the world. If this is your excuse me, if this is your first time watching me or hearing me, the first thing I want to do is I want to give you a big thanks for taking time away from your schedule to watch my video. Especially during this time, it's a great challenge. So I greatly appreciate you watching me right now in terms of what I talk about and what I'm going to say. Uh, I'm going to introduce myself to you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tony Hernandez Pumarejo. I'm a person who's diagnosed with autism, specifically Asperger's. I'm an advocate for people that are in the autism spectrum, children and adults, their families, and their respective communities. I'm the author of the book called, give me a moment here, An Autism Unscripted Life, which talks about my life in the autism spectrum from childhood all the way to adulthood. In this book, I talk about the challenges that I went through from being nonverbal until age 4, going through challenges of improving my communication skills, struggles with connecting and building relationships with other people, and challenges when anxiety, repetitive behavior, depression. I talk about this in the book. I talk about the struggles that I went through trying to overcome the challenges and how I was able to overcome the challenges in order to achieve very important goals in my life, like graduating from college with a bachelor's degree, um, be able to work full time in positions of management, leadership, and customer service and sales, being a writer of my of my book, and even be a TV collaborator with Univision at the Spirit Orlando. I also have the book in Spanish, as Una Vida Autista Sin Libreto. I talk about how I was able to learn both languages, both English and Spanish, being originally from Puerto Rico. So I want to thank you again for being with me here today. In my channel, in all my platforms, I talk about autism. Autism has been part of me, and helping people with autism and other disabilities has been my daily mission of life. But I think I had not done this type of video before, so if this is it, if you haven't done it, then today is the day. And for me, it's the most important video, one of the most important videos I've done, because what is autism? Let's talk about what is autism. It may sound like, why are you doing a video? A lot of people know about autism. It may surprise you that they may have heard about autism, whether it's from family, friends, and relatives, or heard it in the news, but they may not know exactly what it is. Because autism, there's a lot of misconceptions, there's a lot of myths, there's not a lot of information about what really autism is. Especially talking as a person, from my perspective as an autistic person. But for me, you hear about autism being a disability, illness, sickness. You hear it to being talked about as a condition. But for me, autism is a condition of life. The definition, the closest, one of the official definitions is a developmental disorder. I don't see it as a developmental disorder. For me, autism is a condition of developmental condition. Affects the brain and the functions of life of people of early childhood, but also to adulthood. Because people with autism can be diagnosed whether if they're a child or also an adult. And a lot of times we don't talk about adults being diagnosed in the spectrum. So for me, autism is a condition of life. One in every 54, according to the latest statistics in the United States, one in every 54 are diagnosed with autism right now. Now, it doesn't mean that that's horrible, that's bad news. Um, it means it can be also means that there have been an improvement in which the ways in which we're diagnosing that children with autism are being diagnosed, which is very crucial to have an early diagnosis and do early intervention, so that way they can get the right support and services from childhood, so that way they can achieve what it is the mission that we all have as a community, as an autistic community, for our children and adults with autism, which is a better quality of life and an independent life as much as possible. So it's very important to, for me, autism has been part of my life since at least 3 years old. I was diagnosed. Back then, there was not a lot of information about autism. My parents were told different things. They didn't know what was going on with me. I even had my mom. They even one time they even told my mom, a teacher from the Department of Education, saying that I was a complete retard and that I would not amount to anything or anything like that. So basically, this I was vulnerable to H3. I went through struggle, be able to make improvements verbally, and then my diagnosis got changed to Asperger's at age 7 and 8. And a lot of times I receive questions as to, you don't look autistic. You don't look like autism. You talk well, but a lot of people don't know my background, or they don't know what it took for me to reach the level that I am today. And the struggles that I still deal with today is in terms of building connections with a lot of people. So because they may see a person that is nonverbal, who's going through a lot of struggles in his or her life, and even to adulthood, and this may create confusion or misconceptions about what autism is. But it's very important to realize is that autism is a spectrum, and you meet one person with autism and only met one person with autism. According to the latest study back in 2013, since at least 2013, the Manual of Developmental Disorders, Mental Disorders, Asperger's doesn't exist. Everything has been put into the autism spectrum disorder, which comes in 3 levels. Levels 1, 2, and 3. Level 1 being the less severe, all the way to level 3, the most severe. And a lot of times this creates confusion. But overall, for me, autism is a condition of life. It is part of me, but it doesn't define me, and I don't let it control and determine what I can and cannot do in life. And that's very important to realize, is that it's a condition of life, and we need to work with each person in the spectrum to help him or her achieve their true potential in life. And that's the most important thing, and that's what autism is for me. I deal with struggles of connection and building friendships with other people. But despite those challenges, it's very important for society to know that autism is a condition, and that it is very important as a society, as a responsibility, to help each person with autism and also other disabilities achieve their purpose in life. And that's my message for you, especially as a parent. Your child has a purpose in life. Don't let anybody or anything tell you otherwise. Let's start looking at autism differently, and let's work and let's fight every day to make sure that each person with autism and other disabilities achieves his or her true purpose in life. So if you want to learn more about me and the job that I do, feel free to follow me on social media. Also get my book in Amazon. And if you have any questions, go to my website at tonyhpuma.com. So that's what, thank you so much for being with me here today. This is Tony Hernandez Pumarejo, and until next time, bye-bye.